All right, let's talk about AWS Cloudatch Metrics. My goal here is to completely change how you think about them. We're going to move past seeing them as just a place where data sits and turn them into an active, powerful toolkit that gives you real observability into everything you're running in the cloud. Let's dive in. You know that feeling, right? Your app is this complex web of microservices, and when something starts to lag or throw errors, it's just this mad dash to figure out what's going on. It can feel like you're just staring at a black box, completely blind to what's happening inside. Well, that's exactly the problem we're going to tackle today. So how do you unlock that black box? The answer is observability. And really, what that means is being able to ask new questions about your system without having to push new code. At the end of the day, it's all about data. Think of Cloudatch metrics as the vital signs for your application. It's the heartbeat with temperature. Without them, you're not just guessing, you're making critical decisions completely in the dark. You know, there's this old saying that I think is just perfect for this. Without data, you're just another person with an opinion. And a system with hundreds of moving parts, opinions just don't cut it. Metrics give you the cold, hard facts. They're what move you from, I think this might be the problem, to I know this is the problem. Okay, so before we can do all the cool stuff, we've got to learn the language. Let's break down the absolute core concepts of Cloudatch. I promise, once you get these building blocks down, everything else is going to click into place. First up, the namespace. Honestly, the best way to think about this is just as a big container or a folder that keeps your metrics organized. So all your EC2 metrics live in the AWS/EC2 namespace, and they're kept totally separate from your Lambda metrics, which are in AWS/Lambda. It's a simple but crucial way to keep everything tidy. Then, of course, you have the metric itself. This is the thing you're actually measuring over time, like CPU utilization for a server or errors for a Lambda function. And what's really amazing is that Cloudatch holds onto these data points for up to 15 months. That gives you this huge historical view for spotting long-term trends, not just what's happening right now. Okay, now this next one, this is absolutely critical. Let's talk about dimensions. A dimension is basically a label, a key value pair, that makes your metric specific. So you don't just have CPU utilization, you have CPU utilization for a specific instance ID. It's what lets you zoom in from the entire forest to look at a single tree. And you can add up to 30 of these, which allows for some seriously detailed filtering. So what's the big deal? Why am I spending so much time on dimensions? Well, because this is where the magic happens. Without them, you're just looking at an average CPU load across your whole fleet of servers, which is kind of useless, right? A single server could be on fire, and the average would barely budge. Dimensions are what let you slice and dice that data to find the one instance that's in trouble. And while we're on the basics, you've got to know about the two monitoring tiers. Basic monitoring is free. It's on by default, and it gives you data every 5 minutes. It's fine for general health checks, but if you need to react fast, detailed monitoring gives you data every single minute. It costs a little extra, but when you're troubleshooting a live issue, that 1-minute granularity is priceless. All right, we've got the fundamentals down. Now for the fun part. This is where we move from just passively looking at graphs to actively talking to our data. We're going to do that with Cloudatch Metrics Insights, which is essentially a super fast SQL query engine for all your metrics. This is a total game changer. Think about the old way of doing things. Something's wrong, and what do? You start clicking and clicking and clicking, opening graph after graph for every single instance, trying to visually spot the one that looks weird. You're literally searching for a needle in a haystack. It's slow, it's frustrating, and it's inefficient. But with Metrics Insights, that all goes away. It totally flips the script. Instead of hunting around for an answer, you just ask. You write a direct question using a SQL-like language, and Cloudatch goes and finds the answer for you across thousands of metrics in seconds. And just look at how simple and elegant this is. This one line of SQL is asking a really powerful question. For every single EC2 instance I'm running, show me its peak CPU usage. Instantly, you get back a clean, sorted list. No more clicking. It's just beautiful. Let's build on that. I want to show you how easy it is to create one of the most useful queries out there, the top-N query. This is how you find problems before they find you. We just select our metric, point it at the EC2 namespace, group by each instance, and then here's the key part. We order the results by the max CPU they hit, and then we just ask for the top 10. Boom, your busiest instances right there. And this is a game changer for so many teams. You can use the same tags you already use for billing or automation right inside your queries. So if you want to see the CPU usage but only for your production environment, you just add a where clause. It's an incredibly powerful way to align your operational data with how your business is actually structured. Okay, so finding a problem is one thing. That's great. But what's even better? Doing something about it automatically. Now we're going to connect the dots between asking these smart questions and using the answers to trigger alerts and actions. So let's imagine you've got this super important app, maybe an order processing service. Check out this query. It's looking at all the Lambda functions that have been tagged as part of that order service application, and it's summing up their errors in real time. This gives you a single aggregated health metric for your entire application. Now here's the real kicker. What if you could take that exact query, that powerful dynamic question we just asked, and turn it into an alarm? That's exactly what you can do. This isn't an alarm on a single function. It's an alarm on the health of your entire application. It automatically adapts as you add or remove functions as long as they have the right tag. It's incredibly powerful. And to stop your on-call team from hating you, Cloudwatch has this awesome feature called M out of N alarms. This is all about killing alert fatigue. Instead of getting paged for a tiny 1-minute spike, you can say, only alert me if the error count is high for, say, 3 out of the last 5 minutes. This makes sure you're only waking up for real sustained problems. So Cloudwatch is obviously super powerful inside AWS. But let's be real, your data doesn't always live in one place. Sometimes you need to send it to other tools, maybe combine it with business data in a data lake, or use a third-party platform your team already loves. And that's where metric streams come in. This feature is all about breaking down silos. It lets you fire off your metrics in near real time to a bunch of different places. You can send them to Amazon S3 to build a long-term data lake, or as you can see here, you can send them directly to all the big names in observability: Datadog, New Relic, Splunk, you name it. It ensures Cloudwatch plays nice with the rest of your tools. So there you have it. We've gone from the basic building blocks of metrics all the way to writing complex queries and even building dynamic alarms that watch over your entire application. The black box is officially open. You now have the tools to ask it almost any question you can think of. So the only real question left is, what are you going to find first? Thanks for tuning in.